Hey everyone, I'm Danny, your host, and welcome to the debut episode of FilmBlur FX, where we show you how to make cheap Hollywood special effects that won't cost you an arm or a leg. Well, maybe on this week's episode it will. Ow, stop! This week, we're detaching limbs. Before we get started, let's get in the mood to celebrate one of our favorite holidays, Halloween. That's better.
First, what you'll want to do is get all your footage together. First, take a shot of your actor as if he was getting swung at by a sword and then falling backwards. Shoot a blank slate without moving the tripod. Next up, if you have a green screen, I'd recommend swinging a sword a couple times in front of that green screen to, get a good swing in order. Shoot a scene of your actor dropping his arm into the scene. We'll use that later for an arm falling effect. Also, without moving the camera, shoot another blank slate. Do this again with the other shots that you want to use. Next up, bring up your editor. I'm using Adobe After Effects because it's pretty simple and it's the only thing that I really know how to use. Bring in all your footage and layer it correctly. For now, what I did is I made it so that way the green screen was unseen so I could see the other footage beneath it. After you're done aligning all your footage, get your footage to the part where you want your arm to be cut off, and that's when we start masking it up. First, kind of draw with the masking tool around the arm in sort of a circular shape following the way the arm is. Next, you want to keyframe the mask's path and expansion so that way you can do this over and over frame by frame, which really sucks, but that's what I did. Make sure when you're doing it frame by frame you carefully follow the arm's movement. Now that we're done doing that, let's import our severed arm. Once you import that file, scale it down and size it to your arm. After you're done sizing down and positioning your severed arm, you want to do what you did before with your masking, except with this severed arm part. Do it frame by frame and move it with the arm. After you're done keyframing that severed arm piece onto your actor's real arm, you want to import a photo of your actor's hand, the part that's getting cut off. You want to place it where the arm was right before it gets cut off. Keyframe the opacity so that way it's at 0 right before its arm gets cut off and then 100% as it gets cut off. Next up, animate that picture of the hand going off the screen, and then use ease to make it kind of ease out of frame. If you don't know how to do that, I'll explain that in another video. Now it's time to edit the green screen. Key out the green background first. Next, after you're done doing that, align the sword swing with the point that the arm gets cut off. This is pretty self-explanatory. Once you're done aligning the sword, drag and import in some blood splattering effects like I did here. If you don't have any blood effects, you can download some for free online. Take your blood effects and align them like so. I put one behind the arm that's flying and then one in front of the severed part just because that's the way the foreground and the background align. It should be good. When you're done, it should look like this. Just make sure you didn't miss an animation and go back for some touch-ups. Next up, we're having the arm fall off the actor and hitting the ground. What I did is that I took a picture of the blank background because I forgot to take a blank slate, which is really crucial, so please do that. It made the editing look a little bit worse, but it shouldn't look too bad. Anyway, moving on, drag the blank slate underneath your footage that you want to edit. When you're done doing that, mask out the arm. Mask out the arm frame by frame exactly where the arm is severed. I used fake blood on my arm to kind of show where it was. The fake blood made it a lot easier to edit and follow. This part's pretty self-explanatory, just keep going through until you're finished, and this should be the same for the rest of your shots. When you're done, smooth it up a bit. I didn't really do it here, but this is kind of what it should look like.
So whether it be your grandma psychotically tearing off your arm, or you simply close the door on yourself, this effect is extremely versatile, easy, and it looks really cool. Yum. And without further ado, here's this week's test film trailer.
Hey, what happened?
Me. Meep.